Okay, what a palaver, first of all. So, I was meant to be posting this video, but today, Reflect actually posted on their Twitter and social media that they'll no longer be selling Reflect, you know, after careful reconsideration, all this kind of stuff. I mean, the brand shouldn't have existed in the first place, and I do feel like this was the right thing to do. But also, if they had all this amazing research, this is going to make sense later, I promise you. Why not reveal it? Then we'll be like, oh, okay, this is great. It's because they don't have it. Rewatching back this video, it looks like I'm a real like Valkyrae fan. I'm not a fan. I don't really know much about her. It's not about the person, it's about the situation. And I think it's there's so much context here and different things to consider. I look really angry in this video as well. And again, I'm not angry because it's her or angry because it's a specific brand, or it's just the situation. But does any of it matter now because it's done? It's probably one of the first actual brands that has been cancelled. Like, there's so many things to consider as to why this was successfully cancelled, the people behind it, who the face of the brand was, and maybe that has something to do with it. There are so many other brands out there that should not exist but do. I also think I've been having conversations since filming this video as well, and a lot of people kind of say, you know, like Florence by Mills does a blue light range, which yes, is also very misleading. I think the only difference is the marketing behind it. I think the marketing of Reflect is way more misleading than any other blue light stuff we see. And yes, other brands are going to do blue light, but they don't say it's from our screens, they say it's from the sun. And I think that's the difference, is while the sun is very valid, stuff from our screens isn't. Sorry, I've just had a kebab and some chips and I'm trying to record this quick. God, there's so much more I wanted to say. But yeah, this is just an open conversation. This whole video is obviously my thoughts, my opinions, how I feel about this, and people's comments towards it. But let me know yours down below. Please don't get heated. Let's have a conversation. But does it even matter? The brand is gone. I'd also like to know why you think this brand was a successful cancellation. If you think it should have been, should it not have been? Do you think it's because it's a women-run business? Do you think it's because it's a person of color rather than a white person? Like, what do you think the reason is that this was so easily cancelled? I personally feel it's because I'm going to be honest, I think the company behind it are money hungry. I don't think Valkyrae is. And I think this has so much to do with her being like, listen, you weren't telling me the truth. I want to know if this is true or not, but I feel like it has so much to do with her being, how long have I been filming for? 3 minutes, okay. With her being like, you weren't telling me the truth. There must be something in the contract that means, you know, if there was any kind of like discourse going on that you can exit the contract. I feel like she was swindled. Is that the word? Diddled? Blindsided? I don't know. She was fucked over, and I think that she realised that. I think that they've realised that, she's realised that now, and she's kind of been like, you know, you guys ruined this for me, potentially ruined me, I'm out kind of thing. I hope that's what it was. Yeah, let me know. Anyway, to the video. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where skincare is all about progression over perfection, because perfection doesn't exist. So today we are going to talk about this whole Reflect Valkyrae drama, which I have lots of opinions about and I wasn't really going to talk about, but I feel like it's gotten to a point where so many different people are saying so many things and so many people are DMing me, asking me what I think. So for me, this is going to be a difficult topic to talk about because there's so much to it. I've made notes because I can't just speak off the cusp about things like this, and I find it difficult to put my thoughts down into words, so you'll have to bear with me today. But first of all, I'm going to start by saying I'm not 100% sure who she is. I've obviously done my research now. She is a gamer, which I do watch a lot of like streamers and gamers and stuff. I just wasn't very familiar with her. But of course, before doing this video, I watched her, I looked into her history. She seems like a great person, like a really nice person. She doesn't really have a track record of drama, and I'm going to say right away where I stand with this. I feel so sorry for her. I feel awful for her. I think the anger that she's getting is towards the wrong person. We'll discuss it later, but it seems so easy to cancel this brand within a couple of hours. This brand and her, Valkyrae, so I'm going to pronounce that wrong, I know I am, within a couple of hours, when we still have people like the EWG flying about. Where's all these people demanding their scientific research? Yet they're heading to an influencer and being like, you didn't do your research. Yet we have the EWG and people worrying about reef safe sunscreen still. So if you have no idea what's going on, Valkyrae, I think she's a Twitch streamer. Is she on YouTube now? She basically launched her own skincare brand called Reflect. This is a new brand from Ideation Labs, which is co-founded by a lady called Joanna Coles. I'm not sure what she's done before. I was reading her bio and I was like, so what is it that you do? I was very confused. And Claudia Pacia, president of the hugely popular MLM Avon. And of course, Rachel Valkyrae Hofstetter, a hugely popular streamer and gamer. With Valkyrae being a gamer, a streamer, whatever you want to call it, Twitcher, I don't know what the kids. The point of this brand is that she's saying, I'm sat in front of a screen, like, you know, because of my job, hours upon hours a day. This skincare brand is going to protect your skin against blue light that you get off your screens. So what is blue light, first of all? So blue light is visible light that can cause some damage when it's from the sun. And whilst there is a lot less research surrounding it, it may still be a cause of concern from the sun. And blue light is said to potentially cause further darkening of post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation when it comes from the sun. So what can actually protect your skin against blue light? I had no idea. Luckily, Michelle from Muffin Beauty Science literally posted a video earlier on in this year regarding the latest research that's been released about blue light. And she mentioned in here that iron oxides used mainly in tinted sunscreens have shown good protection over regular sunscreens. There is also some research suggesting that antioxidants can help with the after effects, which I think is what we're seeing in this brand, which we'll talk about ingredients in a bit. There's a lot of afterthought rather than protection. So a lot of pigment correcting kind of things going on rather than actual protection in here. So do we need protection from blue light coming from our screens? Short answer is no. Again, Michelle mentions in an Instagram reel that you need to sit in front of a huge monitor for days, even months, to get the equivalent blue light from 15 minutes in the sun. So it's on a completely different scale. Please go and follow Michelle from Muffin Beauty Science. I think the majority of people that know the all about blue light do follow her anyway, but she breaks this stuff down so easy, so simply. She is my go-to if there's any ever question or concern about ingredients or fear-mongering tactics or selling tactics. So basically what this is all marketing claims and tactics. And to be honest with you, I think it's very clever. I don't like it. I think it's wrong, but I think what they've done is very clever. They've taken blue light from the screen, something that not only gamers and streamers use all day, every day, but any person who has a phone or spends hours on social media, which is everyone, which is pretty much everyone. Well, especially Valkyrae's demographic. Also, sorry, the website looks phenomenal. I love the website. I love it. I think it's clever. Everything they've done, the whole marketing side of it is spot on, other than the lies. When they talk about the ingredients, it's very much that thing that a lot of brands do nowadays, where it's like, this ingredient could potentially protect you from this. It's cosmetic claims, right, rather than drug claims. Like, we know SPF sunscreen ingredients will protect you from UV damage. This could, you know, the ingredients in here could protect you from blue light. They don't. There's nothing in these products, speaking of ingredients, that is going to protect you from blue light. It's going to deal with the aftermath of exposure potentially, but there's nothing in here that's actually stopping it. And I feel like they're using this language because really deep down they know that there's nothing in here and there's no studies that back up their claims. If the blue light from screens wasn't, sorry, I got a massive screen here. So if blue light from my screen was a real issue, I wouldn't even recommend this brand, to be honest with you, because there's no protection in here. It's a lot of afterthoughts. It's like sitting out in the sun all day with no sunscreen on, going back home and applying like an antioxidant serum. I think it's going to reverse all the damage you did out in the sun just now when you should have just worn sunscreen. And that's what this product is doing. It's relying what looks like on antioxidants, which a group of them which they've trademarked as the blue light protection. The products in general look fine. They'll do the job. It's nothing revolutionary, but you can tell that this Ideation Labs is one of those what are they called? They're those companies where they have a few brands that come to them and they all basically have the same products with little personal touches to it. So these products were probably made in a lab, taken to Valkyrae. She changed up a few things that she thought would be nice, but as far as ingredients go, they probably already had the base formula there, then just added certain things in. Website first launched, I did go straight to their references basically, and one of them was an Allure article So they launched with, what does blue light do to your skin? There is mounting evidence that supports blue light's contribution to photoaging, including wrinkles, worsening skin laxity and hyperpigmentation. That's from Allure, Digital Detox, July 2020. I read that article and then they started talking about blue light from your screens, and the same dermatologist they were interviewing in here said, don't worry about your screens, it's absolutely fine. And then they also have this weird disclaimer, section 3, accuracy, completeness and timeliness of information. We are not responsible if information made available on this site is not accurate, complete or current. The material on this site is provided for general information and only should not be relied upon or used as sole basis for making decisions without consulting primary, more accurate, more complete and more timely sources of information and reliance, and the material on this site is at your own risk. So basically they're saying we're not responsible if you believe what we posted. They also posted this, how does blue light affect your face? Research shows that blue light emitted from digital screens can damage your skin by shrinking the cells, speeding up aging process and causing redness, swelling and pigmentation changes. On average, American adults spend 11+ hours a day interacting on screens. Yikes. Again, that everything they posted to didn't allude to that whatsoever. And now all that's gone, rightfully so as well. It just doesn't make sense. I find it very, very strange. We're gonna watch her video, like her live stream apology, basically, or saying what's going on, because I want to react to it in a way and kind of talk through the points, because I feel like that would be easier. But I want to go through some of the top comments and criticisms that I saw in the launch video on Twitter, around and about. From an Insta point of view, I feel really bad for her. I feel like she is now tied into this contract or something that she thought, in her own words, was going to be revolutionary, something that she thought was such an amazing idea and that she was proud to attach her name to. A lot of people have said that this is a cash grab. We need to stop calling what things influencers do a cash grab. Influencers want to make money. It's their work. A cash grab, the best examples I always say, a cash grab is Trisha Paytas sticking her face on something, right? Not Nikki Tutorials funding her own skincare line. That's the opposite of a cash grab. I don't feel like this is a cash grab, because we'll see, she's going to say it later. She doesn't need quick money like this. She could just launch merchandise and make, you need to see how much streamers make. A lot of people are saying she should have done her own research when this brand approached her. What the fuck did you want her to do? What did you want her to do? She is approached by a brand with a lab, with their own scientists, with their own chemists who approach her with all this research. She could have given it a quick Google, but that's not how you do your own research. You can type anything into Google and find the answers that you want, whether they are true or not. Just Googling something quickly isn't doing your research. That's not doing research. When you have, she is a streamer. She's not in the skincare world whatsoever. And this is down to confirmation bias, right? When you have a scientist, a chemist, all these people coming to you with studies that when you look at them, you don't really know what's going on, but hey, this looks legitimate. Like, where else are you gonna go? What else are you going to do? You're going to say to the scientists and the chemists, hold on a minute, I need to go off and do my own research into blue light and see what you think. I mean, sure, like this was 2 years ago, so I don't think there was as much information from experts online about blue light. But you know, what did you want her to do? What did you want her to do? I don't understand. Where else is she going to go above a chemist and a scientist? Again, I just don't think Google is accurate enough, or just Googling something. Everyone's like, she should have read PubMD articles. We know you have to be educated to be able to read those. You can't just read those, skip to the conclusion and make an informed opinion, because you're not educated in that realm of things. You have to be able to read it and use your own personal experiences to then review it yourself, you know? So always people are like, she could have just read a PubMD. That's not how it works. This lady, she's 29, I think, who is involved in this world of gaming. Why does anyone think, like, where would she, I just don't get where she would start. Where's she gonna, like, I don't know, that bit confused me. She has been fully taken advantage of. These people, the people that should be targeted and the people who are to blame for this, really, are the people who've taken advantage of her. The two founders of this Ideation Labs, knowing that she's the face, she'll get the brunt of anything. Why didn't they do their own research? In fact, they probably know there's no basis in it at the moment. We've got a lady gamer who, you know, is good looking, she's very pretty, she sits in front of a screen, she's got lots of fans that shove her on our brand, she's popular, let's make money out of her. That's what they did. That's what they did. She's not a skincare influencer. She's obviously not clued up in that world. And it's clear from the way she talks about how the research is done and how she talks about skincare in general that she doesn't really know all that kind of stuff. We do see a bit as well later where she brings her internet friends into it. She kind of says things like, you know, why didn't so-and-so stick up for me? Who did reach out to her and who didn't? As an influencer, if you mess up, it's not your online friends' responsibility to stick up for you. It's not their responsibility to publicly speak up. They don't have to say anything about your fuck up. It's not their responsibility to publicly declare their love for you and stand by you publicly when they probably don't have all the information right now. It's been what, 5 days, like not even a week yet since this happened, and people are expecting other people to speak up about this. Don't speak up unless you have all the information. And she's right, people want to protect their brands, and that's absolutely fine, because as influencers, you are a brand. You have to protect what, you know, what you're going to say, how to think about what you're going to say. You can't just be like, oh, here's what I think about this situation. It's been not even been a week. Like, let's find out what's going on. Let's find out what they're going to do and then talk about it. Because people on the internet will find a way to turn it back on you and then bring you into this and make you part of the issue. And sometimes silence is worse than saying anything. Also, a lot of her streaming buddies and other streamers have also tried to make jokes about this and are calling her a scammer. And it just goes to show you how completely different the gaming community and like the beauty community is, like as far as like what you know. These people obviously know nothing about skincare in general because their jokes don't make sense. That side of the internet, as much as I love it, I love watching gamers, I love watching streamers, but they're so fucking immature. Oh my god, they're like kids. Like this guy tried to make a joke that he's launching new merch that reflects blue light. Well, that's not funny because there is UV protection clothing, so yeah, go ahead, launch that. He also kept referring to her products as soap. None of them are soap. So it's like me calling a PlayStation a computer. Like, oh, you're going on your computer? Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. Another streamer mentioned that it's influencers' jobs to check for anything dodgy before signing a contract, and then went on to compare her not checking the studies to not noticing glitches and low frame rates in a game. It's really not the same. It's really not the same. There is so much more you have to have behind you to be able to understand research and do your research into science than noticing a glitch on a screen or a low frame rate. It's really not the same. She had these potentially respectful scientists and chemists come up to her and ply her with all this information, false information, research that doesn't sound like it really exists, or doesn't really sound like it backs up what they claim their products do. The secret research, which we'll talk about later. Of course she's going to go with it. Of course she is. She has these experts telling her what they've discovered. I don't understand. And again, this isn't because like I don't really know her. I just don't get this situation. I feel like I'm being quite objective in the sense that I don't understand some parts of it. I also don't understand parts that she did this live apology thing, which we're going to watch, which she shouldn't have done. Her manager should be like, don't do that. Do not do that. Let's stay quiet, think it through, think about what we're going to say and how we're going to do this, and then say how we're going to fix it. Don't, you know, it's that thing, don't tell us what the problems are, just fix it, you know? So talking about the blue light research, she said that the studies took 6 months in their labs, the Deviation Labs, I guess, and talks about research links, you know, these odd disclaimers and that. She basically says that Deviation Labs aren't allowed to publish their research just yet in case it gets stolen. And that is a thing. That is a thing. If they publish their findings, basically, another brand can do that and make products out of it. That happens. Well, the problem I have is she's said that she's been working on this for 3 years, 2 years, I don't know, 2 years, let's say, and the research took 6 months. So how long does it take to publish results? I don't know. How long does it take to trademark stuff? I don't know how that works, but surely that's enough time. Or surely you give it another year before you launch these, so you can launch your product with these studies, right? But then I also don't know what. This has to be groundbreaking stuff if they can prove that one of these ingredients, like this flour or whatever we're looking at here, can actually protect against blue light. This is groundbreaking stuff, and I don't know why they wouldn't want to post it, because it doesn't exist like that. She said also that she saw the research. I don't know what they showed her. I'm guessing she didn't actually go to the labs, but they kind of, I bet they showed her the research and kind of broke it down for her and, you know, wrapped her around their little finger, basically. She also says that her original title was creative collaborator, but then asked to change it to co-founder to look prettier in the bio. I mean, I get it, but creative collaborator and co-founder are very different things. And her involvement actually was what you'd expect from a creative collaborator, an influencer. The smell, texture, packaging, colors. She changed lip balm from glossy to matte. Those are all things that you'd expect from what an influencer would do when it comes to a brand launch, right? I think if you're a skincare influencer and you're launching your own skincare, you'd want to be like, I love this ingredient, I love that one, I want it to do this to my skin. Whereas for her, she's not really in that in skincare, so it's all about how it feels and looks, which is fine, I don't care. Let's look at the ingredients of the products. So again, the website, the promos, everything looks incredible. It just doesn't make sense, unfortunately. Right, let's look at the Screen Shield Defense Moisturizer, a daily moisturizer that defends skin from blue light pollution and promises to reduce skin redness while keeping it hydrated. Well, actually, I guess we're just gonna list things. So we have what you're usually going to find in a moisturizer, right? Sodium hyaluronate glycerin and 2 very popular humectants. Aloe leaf, which is nice and soothing but also moisturizing. But as far as protecting, I don't know. There's nothing really in here. I'm looking at this like, I don't know what. There's fragrance, there's perfume in here. They do have Artemisia capillaris flower extract, which I've used from that brand, One Thing. And that's meant to be like antimicrobial and calming and all this kind of stuff. I like to see what they say their products do. I mean, honestly, their website is just, I love their website so much. Like, I'm annoyed I didn't come up with it. I don't know what I need a website for, but... So they have this blue light prevention factor, which they've trademarked, which they don't really say what that consists of, and RE3, which is rice extract, to help shield your skin from blue light damage. Yeah, I'd love to know more about this BLPF, whatever it's called, but I can't find anything about it. I mean, and then you've got a cleanser, a lip balm, and all this stuff that it's just not... It just doesn't make sense. Like, none of it makes sense. And again, I feel so bad for her, because I feel like she's been diddled a bit here. Right, let's watch the video and probably just go through a few things.
Hannah is my agent, as some of you know. She's my agent. UTA, through UTA.
Hannah, you shouldn't have let her do this, first of
all. Found me, and they had a meeting with me, and they said they really liked my brand. They brought a bunch of like products and samples and all this stuff, and they asked me during that meeting if there was something that I was interested in, and so I interested to make, and so I said, I was like, well, is there any like research on blue light and how it can affect your skin, because I don't really know much about it and stuff. And they said that, yeah, we can hi Ms. we can do studies on it.
Okay, so it sounds like it was her idea, which as a normal everyday consumer who's not into skincare or knows a lot about skincare, that's a perfectly fine kind of thing to be interested in, because it is everywhere nowadays. Within the last couple of years, we've seen so many brands come out with other blue light stuff. Why aren't you cancelling them? Go and cancel them. There are so many brands out there that talk about blue light, not to this extent, I guess, like, fair enough, which makes us feel scammy because that's their whole thing. It's not a scam. Well, I don't know. This is the point where they should be like, we can look at some studies on it. They're chemists, they're scientists, could have looked at some studies and be like, you know what, right now there's not enough studies, or gone with the actual studies and be like, let's use some oxides in here, whatever oxides, and make like a daily tinted moisturizer that can help protect against blue light. Even if though the studies that sit in front of your screen isn't enough for you to warrant using any kind of protection, at least the idea's there and a why not, I guess, kind of thing, you know? It's less scammy, in my opinion.
The next 6 months, they ran their own studies. They did their own research with their labs and their chemists. Paulina is one of the lead chemists at Ideation Labs.
I just need to say, she looks great, but she sounds and appears to be so tired and emotionally drained. One thing, I hope her dog's okay. Her dog's really cute, and dogs feed off your energy and stuff. I hope she's okay too, because what's annoying is that anyone else who's involved doesn't seem to be rectifying this situation. In fact, one of the founders is still tweeting about how amazing this brand is and how amazing it is to work with this lady, and she's been like, go game girl. It was an awful tweet. They're not doing anything. They're basically letting all this fall on her, which is what brands do on purpose, I guess, is let the influence of the face of the brand take all the shit. I feel awful for her, I do. I feel like everyone's calling her a scammer when she's not. Like, she's just done what she thinks was amazing, like an amazing thing to do. She's been led astray.
I saw the research. I saw it with my own eyeballs.
I want to know what she saw.
And I was really excited because I thought it was groundbreaking research. I thought it was all wonderful stuff. It was excited. I thought it was really going to help not just like me, but like other people as well.
I genuinely feel like I really don't know Valkyrae from a social media perspective, obviously, but I feel terrible. I genuinely believe that she really thought this was going to be an amazing thing. And, you know, good intentions aren't enough, but again, I just don't understand where people think she could have gone that step further to shut down the whole process and be like, hang on a minute, you're lying to me, scientists. Like,
my original title was creative collaborator for Reflect. I was a creative collaborator. I actually asked if I could if there was something shorter so that it would look prettier in my bio, and they said you could put co-founder if you want.
I think she might have shot herself in the foot with that one, because that does make her seem like she had a lot more involvement than creative collaborator.
So yeah, that's why it was co-founder, because I thought creative collaborator was too long. My involvement with Reflect for the next year and a half was they would send me samples of the products. Like, I tested the smell, the texture, the packaging, the colors of the packaging. For instance, the chapstick or lip balm. I told them I wanted it to be completely unisex. I wanted it to be as natural as possible. I wanted it to not be shiny. So that's why the moisturizer and the chapstick are matte. Like, they dry matte. That was my involvement. I am not a chemist. I've never been to the lab in person. I've just seen the research and all that. That's why I've been really excited for the past 2 years. I think I have a lot of viewers that have been around for a very long time that know that I was really excited for this, because I saw a lot of comments of people saying it only takes 1 second on Google to research this. We didn't do 1 second of researching. We ran our own studies.
And that's the thing, is it doesn't take 1 second of research on Google. It's not, if you're having a go at someone for not doing proper research, for not looking at the scientific evidence, yet you tell them to use Google as a research method, an accurate research method. Google isn't reliable. As I said, you can find so many different answers, so many different things. There's doctors on there who spew a ton of shit. There's people who call themselves doctors, scientists, you know, all this kind of stuff. You can't just quickly Google something in 1 second. And as she said, when people are doing years, months of studies, why are you going to go to Google and be like, hang on, let me check your studies on Google? Again, like, obviously I'm not saying like I think she's right. I'm saying like what the criticism that people are giving her when it comes to that, I feel isn't right. I feel that's wrong.
When Reflect dropped, it was critical and crucial for there to be information, and there was nothing but a WebMD link. I didn't want to speak or like stream because like I needed to see how the website was going to be updated. And that's when I learned that their studies can't be publicized.
Yeah, I think people are thinking like that's dodgy, that they can't publicize it, but it's a thing. It's a thing. If they publicize it without, I guess, a certain amount of protection, things can be stolen. I don't know whether now the products have been launched and all that kind of stuff, and they've got certain trademarks and stuff that they should have been able to do this with the launch. Now everything's been like posted. I don't know, but I also don't think it's naive of her. I mean, I think they. I guess if it was my brand, I would be like, can we post, you know, parts of these studies and say what we found? Not the whole thing, because, you know, people don't really need to read the whole thing. But yeah, I guess a little bit. There should have been clearer, but that her manager should have helped with that.
This is not what I expected. This is not what I signed up for. I don't want to have to convince people like, oh, just trust me.
But that's what the people behind this brand are relying on, is that her millions of followers, millions? No, she's not got billions, has she? Millions of followers, or whatever platform they're on, sorry, are just going to take her word for it. Because they like her, they're a fan of her, and that's what these people are doing. It wouldn't surprise me if they knew that this was a load of bullshit, and now they're just using her. They've not told her the whole truth. It's like, oh, it's right, her fans will buy it anyway, we'll still make money from it. I honestly don't think they care much about what's going on with her at the moment. I think they used her.
But there is one thing that did concern me. Not a single one of my friends or anyone that I know on the internet asked me, hey, Ray, what happened to the website? Why is there no information on the site?
Why would they do that? Why would they do that? That's not their responsibility to do that. This is where it gets a bit silly, and this is why I would never recommend doing a live apology, because you say stuff that you probably reflect later on and be like, oh, that was a bit weird of me to say. She's now calling out her friends or supposed friends and all that kind of stuff. Again, this is just, you're adding fuel to the fire. It's not their responsibility to speak up or correct any mistakes that you or your brand have made. They probably don't know. The last thing they do when they look at skincare or cosmetics, if they ever do, is to be like, wait, where's the scientific research behind this? Unless you're kind of involved within the skincare industry and realm, and you're huge, like, you have a huge interest in it like I do, you probably don't realize all the stuff that goes on behind it, you know? Hence a lot of these people calling it soap and thinking soap is the same thing as a cleanser, you know? So this is where it gets a bit, I'm going to cut half this bit out, to be honest with you.
The research isn't fake.
Research isn't fake, but the claims and the wording and the marketing is misleading. And I don't know whether she's quite getting that. I would really want to see the research and see what their research is, because again, I'm guessing all it is the antioxidant side of it. That's it. There's no protection. There's no protection in this. It's these products could potentially heal the post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation that is made worse from blue light. In the sun, I want to see what they get from the screens, but other than that, I feel like she either doesn't quite understand what the issue is, like in more depth, or they're just stringing her along more and more.
Reflect is something that Ulta, I don't know if you guys know, but Ulta is a large retail skincare, beauty, makeup seller.
See, this is just having to explain what Ulta is. It's just a crazy, like, I get the collaboration, and if blue light from your screens was real, it would be perfect. This would be a phenomenal collaboration. It would be, you know, if they had the right ingredients, it just makes sense. But this is a lady who streams to people who probably don't give a shit about skincare, the majority of, to this kind of degree. And the fact that people within her own industry are calling her a scammer and not really understanding quite fully what the situation is, the fact that she's having to explain what Ulta is, it's just all a mess. It's all a mess.
They invested in Reflect, and it's going to be sold at Ulta in stores tomorrow. And it's really hard to be proud of that when it, like, I feel like the people that worked behind the scenes and the people, all of everything that's happened in the past 2 years, they don't get to experience what I'm experiencing. Like, I'm the face for it. Like, I am the creator for it, or the creative collaborator for it. And so, like, I'm the one that gets all of it. Isn't that crazy?
You know, I talk shit about other influencers all the time, but this is just the situation, whether it's her or somebody else, that you have worked with a brand, a team that you've trusted for 2 years, 3 years. I keep forgetting the amount. They've shown you all this research. You think everything's okay. They've been kissing your ass for the last couple of years. And then on launch day, everything comes down on you. You're called a scammer. You're told the whole thing is a scam. How disappointing, how gut-wrenchingly horrified must she be that not only have these people that she's trusted for 3 years, 2-3 years, have probably swindled her, whatever the word is, knowingly used her as a face of something just to make some money, but also now you're being cancelled by everyone. You're being called a scammer literally within the space of 24 hours. Like, it must be horrible. She's obviously going through so much, and the anger, like she said, is all directed at her when it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. We're adults. We know how influencer brands work, right? She's very openly stated how involved she was. If she was in a lab mixing stuff up, then yes, go ahead and blame her. This was her concept and her vision, and she knew all the research behind it, then yeah, go ahead. But the anger is directed at the wrong person, And this isn't influencers overall. Like, some influencers deserve, you know, the hate that they get, and the cancelling, absolutely 100%. But this, I just feel like this is so targeted to the wrong person. The people we should be angry with is this Ideation Labs, these people who have used her. Fucking Queen of Avon, a well-known MLM. What else would we expect, you know?
I feel like if I could go back, I would have been, I wish I could have been more aware of what was going to be shown. I will read comments now. There's no way they didn't do studies. Yeah, they did their studies. That's why I was so excited, because I liked their studies that I saw.
But I want to know what she saw and what they were telling her, because again, this makes it sound like they were giving her a load of bullshit. They were feeding her shit.
You don't deserve any of the hate. I mean, I understand where a lot of the hate was coming from. She
doesn't deserve any of the hate for this. This is like stupid.
Oh no, I failed to make a successful cash grab. Okay, that's also another thing. I don't need money. And
I just need to say I really respect how open she is and blunt about this.
Some people like, oh, she could have just done a regular skincare thing. She could have just done more merch. You're right. I can literally just straight up retire and have enough money to take care of myself and my family for the rest of my life. This wasn't about money. It was more so like I saw their research and I was really excited that they wanted me to be involved in something that's felt revolutionary. I don't think you guys understand what a week of merch did. It's just, if I really needed more money, wouldn't I just sell more merch every week? Like, it's not, I'm not fucking flexing either. It's just a lot of people said that I'm doing it for money.
There was that leak, wasn't there, showing how much streamers make. That's what I'm gonna say. She doesn't need the money.
If people yell at you, ask them why they didn't have this energy for people shilling G Fuel when it has lead in it. Bish, this is not even comparable. I had a website of products that were claiming to do something with no links or information.
This is interesting because this Hassan guy is the same guy that called her product soap, right? It just goes to show you that she doesn't quite get the analogy, is that the word? And then he doesn't quite understand how formulations work. Not understanding things about dosage, formulation, ingredients, all that kind of stuff makes people run straight to the EWG and think their deodorant's giving them cancer, you know? But I do get what he means by basically what I'm saying, in the sense that where's this energy for other things that need a good telling off? You know, where's this energy for the EWG? Where is this energy for, you know, those doctors who tell you to fear parabens, you know? There's so much energy placed in the wrong place because she is a lady gamer. And I do feel like, hang on, okay, actually, let's talk about this quote, because this quote pissed me off. So Joanna Coles, who's the same person that tweeted, bravo game girl, said this. Joanna Coles, co-founder of Ideation Labs, which collaborates with Hofstetter on Reflect, dressed the critics of the new skincare line. On Reflect's homepage, we include references to academic studies citing the impact of blue light on the skin from the sun. They're missing very key words here. Cole said in a statement to the Washington Post, anyone with a computer should read these. It's hard enough for young women to start a business in a male-dominated economy. I am confident that if a male gamer had come up with Reflect, he would have been roundly applauded. I agree. I agree with it's hard enough for young women to start a business in a male-dominated economy. I do not agree with that. I am confident that if a male gamer had come up with Reflect, he would have been roundly applauded. He fucking wouldn't have. The skincare community, like they already have, would have gone in on this brand just as much as they are doing with her. I do feel like she's getting more hate because she is a lady. I do feel that tends to happen. But honestly, if a man had come out with this brand as well, we would have been like, what the fuck is this also? I feel like she's shifting the blame. I feel like that's what she's doing. Like, I feel like if it came from Valkyrae, I would have been like, I get that. I do get that more coming from you. That's your feelings. But the fact that this lady, one of the co-founders, is now trying to shift the blame and make everyone be like, you're not getting it. You're not understanding. It's because she's a woman is kind of like you're trying to shift the blame here. What you've done is essentially try to mislead people throughout the whole process with Valkyrae and the whole launch, and what you thought you were going to be able to mislead your customers as well.
It's wild to me that it didn't even pop into my head. Like, I saw the research, I was like, holy shit, this is great, I love it, this is insane, this is revolutionary, this is awesome. I I'm excited to be part of something in the future. But the beauty and skincare industry is so different. It is so different. And also, like, okay, for example, like, I'm sure you guys saw Joanna's comment on Twitter. And admittedly, yeah, it was, you know, it was on my my voice memo. It was just it was very tone deaf, and it just kind of reminded me, like, I feel like these people that are in the beauty and skincare industry don't understand how the gaming industry works at all.
Why would we? And vice versa. Like, what?
I don't. And then I was also thinking about, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen any other influencer go through what I'm going through.
They have been through what you've been through. Jaclyn Hill, for example. A lot of people in the beauty space have been through this. But that's what she's saying. A lot of the gaming industry don't understand beauty and, I guess, the skincare side, and vice versa. She proved her own point.
Well, where I was like saying, like, I need to like wait for the website to be fixed, but like she was just saying that like she was proud to be Reflect partner and stuff, but like it kind of ignored everything I said in my memo.
Okay, so what she's talking about is this tweet from Joanna Coles. Proud to be your partner on Reflect, Valkyrae. Congrats. Wish I didn't spend 8 hours a day with my screen. Having learned a lot about BLD, I now know to prep my skin and take regular breaks. Mask plus balm equals faves, and we were honoured to work with Claudia Picchia, former CEO of Laura Mercier. Bravo, game girl. Who wrote that? Who wrote that? Like a teenager from 2004? Like, that is the weirdest tweet. But like she says, completely tone deaf. Read the fucking room. Like, no one was bravoing anyone at that moment in time. Then to at Valkyrae and tweet at her as well, I think they don't care. They don't care. They're making money. They're congrating themselves. They're patting themselves on the back while your influencer, your face of the brand, is going through shit, is going through actual hell right now. So fucking annoying.
And then also, they all kept telling me, like, this is the same thing that happened with sunscreen. This is the same thing that's happened with CBD, nicotine. It just takes years and years for like the back and the forth and stuff, eggs, whatever. But like, now I'm at the point where it's like,
it's kind of different, I guess, because we have I'm a chemist, they have newer technology nowadays. They're able to learn about things a lot quicker. Actually, CBD is a good example because whilst it's good at many things, it's also overhyped. It's exaggerated. There are a lot of false claims. So yes, CBD is a good example as what this blue light stuff is all about, clever marketing. Okay, stopping it there. Let's round things off as far as like how I feel about this. The brand. Terrible, very misleading. The things that were posted, the links to research, the links to Allure articles, things that wasn't their research to try and back up their misleading claims about what their products can and can't do. What a shit show, what an absolute shit show. The constant changing of what their website says. Products, I don't know, I've actually ordered them, they're on my way to me. Looking at the ingredients, they seem very ordinary. They seem like a lot of other products that I own, but it's all about formulation. Formulation is queen. Is it a scam? No, I just think it's clearer misleading than a lot of other products out there on the market. This isn't something new. This is what brands do all the fucking time. As far as Valkyrae goes, I feel so bad for her. I feel like she did what any other influencer would do. This whole idea that she should have done her own research, like she's going to pop to her own lab. Or like question these scientists, these chemists, these professionals who have shown her this research. It's confirmation bias and we all fall for it. She's getting it because she's an influencer and she's the face of the brand. I don't think her management, I don't think the people behind the brand are doing enough to protect her right now. As a creative collaborator, no, of course the blame shouldn't be put on her. This is a very different situation, right? If she put her face on something else that was easy to kind of like see that was a load of bullshit, then yeah, she should be like, why didn't you research that? Like Trisha Paytas probably didn't even look at the ingredients on her skincare line. There's sunscreen without any filters in it. You know, like that is shit. That is bad. That is a cash grab. That is like, why didn't you do your due diligence and actually see what's going on? You know, we are in a time in skincare where everyone and their aunties are releasing skincare lines. Everyone. And this is an example of something that would have made sense if it made sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, this would have made sense. This would have been a good collaboration if we needed it, if blue light protection was a thing from screens. Ellen's raw vegan beauty, whatever it's called, doesn't make sense. Like, who the fuck cares, you know? This makes sense. But then also, this is now just kind of backs up the theory that maybe certain people shouldn't be going into the skincare space, and what makes sense and what doesn't. But, you know, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Be nice. We're not trolls on here. We are adults. We can have a conversation. Leave everything in the comments below. You can watch some more product reviews here, some general light entertainment here, and I'll see you over there.